I'm California dreaming.
Hello and welcome into today's video. Today is the 11th of August. Premier League season starts in 2 days' time, and your boy obviously has made no videos at all. So I was like, fuck, I need to get a video out. So prediction video today, Premier League prediction, my 2021-2022 predictions. This is what it's going to be. So before we get into it, obviously like and subscribe. But yeah, without any further ado, I'm going to go from 20th to 1st. I'm going to go through my transfer of the season, player of the season, breakthrough player of the season, and something else. A flop of the season. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, those are all the metrics I'm going to go for. And if you're watching this in May and I got everything correct, yeah, well, PayPal me like £100 for any financial advice, and you can join my football course. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start from 20th to 18th. That's what everyone does. I'll go from the relegation zone, like, battle, right? And the teams that I think are going to be in this battle are Norwich, Brighton, Watford, Brentford, Palace, Southampton, and Newcastle. I know people are going to think I'm going to say Burnley, but really and truly, I actually can't be bothered to talk about Burnley because you just know they're going to stay up. Like, they play the worst football. They play like terrorist football. Even Steve Bruce will be looking at Burnley and be like, come on, mate, you got to be playing more expressive football than this. But for me, I'm like, I know they're going to stay up, so they're not in this conversation at all. But the teams that I've gone for at 20th, 19th, and 18th are Norwich at 20th. They're going to get bounced back straight to the Championship. Nearly forgot what the Championship was. Watford at 19th and Brighton at 18th. So the Brighton one might be quite controversial because I've been saying like all season, Brighton are amazing, Graham Potter, amazing manager. But at the end of the day, if they don't have somebody to put the ball in the back of the net, like, I don't really have much faith in them. I think they finished last season with the third highest amount of goals, and like Sheffield United were on like 20, and Brighton were like kicking about those sort of areas. So I think Brighton are going to get relegated because they lost Ben White as well. They've not brought in a replacement. Obviously, they might still do this a month left of the window. And also, if this video gets 50 likes, I'll do a grading football team's transfer window. So I'll give them a grade for their transfer window. But yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go Brighton at 18th for that reason. I'm going to go Watford 19th because I don't think they have the quality and depth. They don't really have a real goal scorer. In 15-16, when they came up, Adi Nagalo was like, he was some Nigerian bloody, did some black magic on that team and made them go to like 12th or something. So if they don't get a striker in like him, I don't think they're going to stay up. João Pedro, Ismail Assar, players to watch, but really and truly, they're probably going to get relegated. At Norwich, they lost their best player and they replaced him with a player who's completely inferior in Rashika. I think Sargent from Werder Bremen is a decent signing. The American Donny, I think he's okay, but really and truly, I don't think they've got the quality to stay up. That I've looked at their whole squad and I'm just like, nothing stands out to me. So I'm going to go Norwich, Brighton, and Watford to get bounced out of the league. And now we're going to go from 17th upwards. Okay, at 17th, I'm going to go for Burnley. I'm not even going to explain that. They're just going to stay in the division somehow. Bloody Sean Dyche will do his magic and then they'll probably flop for the last 8 games, but they would have already claimed that it's 17th spot a long time ago. So yeah, Burnley 17th. Now, 16th, this is interesting. I'm going to go for Brentford. Brentford are an interesting side because like they've got an amazing like academy. They've got an amazing like recruitment team. They brought in some Donny from, was it Nice or something? Or Rems or something. His name's like Weiser or something. And he got like 16 goals and assists in the league last season, which isn't too bad. And I'm getting Rodrigo vibes. Not Rodrigo vibes, wasn't it? Rafinha vibes from Leeds. I'm getting Rafinha vibes from him. The way he plays, the way he's got like he's got text on the ball, like he could be a player to watch. But the reason I'm saying they go 16th is I'm banking on Ivan Toney to make the step up. If he doesn't make the step up, there's absolutely no way they stay in the division. But I'm banking on Ivan Toney to I'm gonna say he hits 13 goals in the league next season. He's gonna start off like a Teemu Pukki, but then like tail off a bit more. But then in the last like 10 games, he's gonna get like 6 or 7 goals. So I'm saying Brentford comes 16th. 15th, I've got Crystal Palace. I think Vieira's going to do all right. I think they made some good signings in Mark Gehi and Anderson. I think the centre back, Gehi and Anderson. I think they could shoehorn that defense. Obviously, they lost Patrick Van Aanholt, and they really don't have a striker. Everyone's being linked with Odsonne Edouard. Everyone in this league that needs a striker has been linked with Odsonne Edouard. If they get him, I think they'll do all right. But I'm backing Vieira because he's never really done too badly as a manager, apart from when he got sacked by Nice, I think. Yeah, apart from that time, he's never been too bad. So I think they're going to finish 15th. And just above them, I've got my home team. Well, not this team. Newcastle United. Steve Bruce plays the most terrorist football in the world, but I think the quality of the squad will just allow Newcastle to save themselves from relegation. I think Callum Wilson will hit 12 goals again. I think if Alan Saint-Maximin can start scoring some goals and putting some end product to his like wizardry on the ball, bro, we could sell him for like, I can't really say we in this top, but we could sell him for like 60 mil next season, and then we can push on from that. But I think the squad is too good to go down. So I'm saying that we stay up and finish 14th. And then in 13th, I've got Wolves. Got rid of Nuno. They've got Raul Jimenez back. They've got Fabio Silva. They've got some weird players. Like, they just hit me as now a mid-table club. They did well the first season they came up, but now to me, they're just like a bit of a meh team. So I'm going to say they finished 13th. 12th, I've got Southampton. Southampton, I think, finished like 15th or 16th last season, but they made some solid signings. Just this morning, they signed Adam Armstrong from Blackburn. I think that's a quality signing. They signed Broja from Chelsea, another quality signing on loan, and they brought in Tino Livramento in the defense. So I think I think they made some good signings, and Ralph Hasenhuttl in 2020 was like undoubtedly for me the best manager in the league. Like obviously, like you have your Klopps and your Peps, but like he was so good in that level just below, and it just fell off in 2021. But he's too good of a manager to go down. I think with this squad now, if they keep James Ward-Prowse, definitely could go well. But you got to remember in these predictions, there's so much that can change because like obviously there's like a month left of the window. But yeah, so I'm going to go Southampton at 12th. And at 11th, this is going to surprise people. This is going to surprise Taha, who sat right there, yeah? 11th, I'm going to go for West Ham. I think last year was a flash in the pan. Now they've got their toxic fans back in the stadium, and I'm never, ever going to go to that stadium. So nobody's ever going to come for me for saying that. But once they've got those toxic fans back in that stadium, I think it's going to go all downhill. They've signed basically nobody this summer. They got rid of Felipe Anderson. They've not really added to the squad. Yeah, I think this could be a car crash of a season, and they could finish easily like 16th or 15th. But I'm just gonna say they finish mid-table 11th. That's probably the best they're gonna get. If they finish above them, I wouldn't be too surprised. But for me, my hot take this season is West Ham are gonna flop. I'm saying 11th to just be safe, but if they finish like 15th or 16th, don't be surprised. And for me, they should have cashed in on Declan Rice this season, but they're obviously not going to do that. But when they do, they're not going to get as much money as they would have this season because obviously the Euros tax, they would have been able to get so much money for him. I've been screaming it all summer, but yeah. David Gold and bloody, what's the other one called? David Sullivan. Bloody morons. They should be following the Football Explainer, just like you. Okay, and rounding out the bottom 10. Actually, no. Starting the top 10. I've got in 10th place, I've got Everton. They made some decent signing. They brought in Andros Townsend. They brought in Rafa Benitez. I think he's a solid signing. Because for me, I think Everton are one of these clubs that are really like, I think they're the most toxic club in the league. I do think they're the most toxic club in the league. When it's good, it's amazing. And when it's bad, they make it sound 10 times worse than it actually is. So I'm going to say Everton finished 10th. They're always a team that can finish like 4th or 5th, but for me, Everton are going to finish 10th. Obviously, they've got the Gylfi Sigurdsson situation.
Now I'm panicking.
Yeah, don't panic.
No, I am, because I'm going to lose my job.
James Rodriguez is like kind of wants to leave. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I'm going to say they finished 10th. They should have signed Adam Armstrong, and they're going to regret not doing that. Sounds like I'm about to like bloody attack them, but that's not what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to go for my 9th, 8th, and 7th place teams, and then we're going to go to the top 6. And starting the top, those 3 places, 9th, 8th, and 7th, I've got Aston Villa. Last season, they finished 11th. Obviously a big thing. They got rid of Jack Grealish. I think that's a massive loss, obviously, for any team. But the whole point of having an academy is that you have this academy. You hope one of the players get into the first team. You develop them so that they're amazing, so that they can make an impact in the first team, or they can be sold for a lot of money. And then they sold it for £105 million. Like, we need to deep how ridiculous that is. £105 million for Jack Grealish is like, he's not worth that. Like, let's be honest. I know Aston Villa fans in the comments are going to be bloody mad that I said that, but like, really and truly, he's not worth more than 75 mil, if I'm being completely honest. So 105 mil, I think that's excellent. They've reinvested that really well. I think Emi Buendia, excellent signing. They signed some other players. Who did they sign? They signed Emi Buendia, Leon Bailey. I think he's a good signing. He definitely has the potential to do really poorly. Like, I can definitely see him get like 4 goals and 3 assists. But I think and Danny Ings as well. I think he's a good signing as well. I think their whole attack is so stacked that even with injuries, like, they've got depth, quality and depth, not just depth, but quality and depth. That's something that's really underrated in the league. And I think going forward, they're very good in defense. I think the signing of Ashley Young and Axel Tuanzebe will really excel them. And if they make a push for Europe, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to say they finish ninth, because that loss of Jack Grealish, like, I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be, but I hope it's not, because I really like Aston Villa. But yeah, that's who I've got in ninth. And just above them, I've got Spurs. Now, this will come as a surprise to a lot of people, because you're thinking, you think they're going to finish eighth? Well, I do. I think Harry Kane is probably going to stay, but he's a professional guy, but I don't see him wanting to really, like, do his best. But I don't think that's in the best interest of him to do his best, because obviously he wants to leave. But I just don't see Nuno doing bits. They're obviously going to move back to a 5 at the back, and that could do really, really well for them. They could finish like 5th or 6th, but I'm saying they flop this season. I'm saying they finish 8th. And coming in 7th, is it Arsenal? Is it Leeds? Is it Chelsea? Well, it's Leeds. I think Arsenal are going to finish 6th, and I think Leeds are going to finish 7th. I think Leeds last year had the most underrated season in, I'd probably go as far as saying, Premier League history, because how the hell can you come from being stuck in the Championship for like 15 years and then bring in an amazing manager, just miss out in 2018-19, and in 2019-20 get promoted, absolutely destroying the rest of the league? Everybody was saying he was playing too expansive football. He's gonna get kicked out of the Premier League. Like, they're gonna get relegated. They finish 1 point behind Arsenal, the big Arsenal, and nobody talks about it. That's blasphemous to me. That's disgusting. Rafinha and Bamford came so strong last year, and I think they're gonna go from here to here. They're just gonna elevate. They're just gonna get even better. And I want people to give Leeds their props, because last season, I remember they played Manchester United and they lost 6-2. And everybody was saying, "Oh, he's playing too expansive football. They can't be conceding 6 goals at Old Trafford." Well, they finished 8th or 7th or 9th or something. Finished 1 point below Arsenal, and you're talking about, oh, he's playing too expansive football. I think Leeds deserve their props, and I think they're going to finish 7th above Spurs. I think it's going to be a big marker. But they haven't really signed anybody big this summer. But once they do, this team could go into the stratosphere. And I think one more good season, and really the Leeds owners are going to invest heavy into that team, like they already have. But like I said before, 6th place, I've got Arsenal. And I'm going to ruin the second part of my video where I'm talking about like transfer of the season, breakthrough player of the season, because I think my transfer of the season is going to be Ben White. For me, Arsenal are this team where they're so toxic, they're so poisonous, and there's no like stability, especially in that defense. But over the past few seasons, they're making good signings. They're getting rid of Kolasinac, they're getting rid of Bellerin, they got rid of some other players, and now they're bringing in Gabriel. Last season played very well, and I think Ben White this season can really hold down that centre back berth, and really they could build the team not around it, but he could be part of a spine that can go on for a long time. He was excellent for Leeds in 2019-20. He was okay for Brighton last year, but he's got this quality that I think is just like unmatched in the Arsenal squad, and he can really take them from here, losing against Burnley at home, losing these really strange games at home, to like there. And that's why I'm saying Arsenal finish 6th. I don't think they'll finish higher than that, because I don't think they'll invest too much in their team, but I think they're doing well. If they finish 6th this season, I think that's very good. 6th to 8th, I would expect that. Anything above 6 is an excellent season. Anything below 8th is a terrible season. But I'm banking on you, Arsenal. You guys have amazing kits and you've got some good players, so I'm banking on you to do well. But now, I'm going to have the rest of the top 5. All the teams that you thought were going to be here are here, so let's get into it. Okay, so now this is the part that you've all been waiting for, the top 5. Who I think is going to win the league, who I think is going to get Champions League football, and who I think is going to miss out on Champions League football. The teams we've got left are Leicester, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, and City, right? And you might think, oh, I've said that in order. Well, I definitely haven't. In 5th place, just missing out on the Champions League spot, I'm going for Leicester. And the reason I'm going for Leicester is Fofana's out till 2022. And also, I think Vardy's going to fall off a bit. And if their new signing, Patson Daka, doesn't hit the ground running and Kelechi Iheanacho doesn't continue his amazing form from last season, they could really be in a tight spot come the end of the season. But I think they've added to their squad depth. They've got in Boubakary Samare from Lille. They brought in Patson Daka. They brought in some other players. James Justin's coming back in. Harvey Barnes has come back from injury. And if they lose James Maddison, they definitely could finish lower. But I'm saying they finish 5th, just outside the Champions League places for the 3rd season in a row. So I've got Leicester at 5th. And in 4th position, This was a tough one. This really was a tough one because any team, I think, apart from Manchester City, could finish fourth this season. The Man City are guaranteed minimum top two, but in fourth position, if I'm being honest, it's between United and Liverpool. And Liverpool is like, they will finish fourth if Virgil van Dijk doesn't hit the ground running, because I think Virgil van Dijk makes every other player in that team better. He makes the system easier to play in. And United, they've got Sancho, they've got Varane, and obviously Ollie's finished third and second in his last two seasons, so he's got pedigree when it comes to finishing at the top end of the Premier League. But I'm going to say Virgil van Dijk does not hit the ground running. Even though this is the last opportunity for this Liverpool team to win the league. And I think they're going to fail in this miserably. And I say they finish fourth. I think Virgil van Dijk's not going to hit the ground running. I think he's going to play well, but and Andy Robertson is out as well. So these are big, big players. And I know people are saying, oh, Tsimikas is going to redeem himself this season. But I say they finish fourth because I think, although Ollie's not going to win the league, I think he's definitely got pedigree at the top of the table. He can beat smaller sides. Now he's got Sancho and Varane, and he's obviously shown that he can beat the top sides in England on a consistent basis. So I think United finished third, Liverpool finished fourth, and you know who's in the top two? Chelsea and City. So now's the big test. Big test of, is the Football Explainer biased or is he not? City are, if they get Harry Kane, right, there's absolutely no way they don't win this league. And these two teams should, they should 1,000,000%. I would put my whole life savings on it. They should win a trophy. Each team should win a single trophy, right? Because they have two starting 11s. When you hear Klopp, he goes, "Oh, I can't play. I'm playing the kids in the League Cup, in the FA Cup, because I don't have enough players, like top quality players, to play in those competitions." Chelsea and City have two starting 11s. Like, that is ridiculous. So if Chelsea and City don't win any cup in this season, they should be on fraud watch. So that's why I put them as the top two, because they've got so much strength and depth. You've got Grealish, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling at City. You've got Lukaku, Werner, Havertz, Mount at Chelsea. You've got two quality defenses as well. Mendy in there, Ederson in there. Like, these are unreal teams. I think these are the two teams that will battle out for the league this season, with United just below them. I think it'll be really tight at the top. But you know what it is? I'm going to put my neck out on the line. I'm going to go City to finish second, and Chelsea are going to win the league. I think Lukaku is going to smash it. He's like a Tammy Abraham on crack. And what I mean by that is, Tammy Abraham scores against the small sides, but doesn't score against the big sides. I'm saying Lukaku does that. He scores against the small sides, but he'll win one or two games against the big six. And I think that will be the defining factor of whether Chelsea win the league or not. I think Werner at left wing, Pulisic on the right, bringing in Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech off the bench. You've even got Havertz off the bench. You've got Mount in midfield, Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic. I think injury-wise, if we stay fit, I think Chelsea should win the league. Obviously, if Harry Kane comes in, then this is a whole different story, but I don't think he is. I don't think Jack Grealish is the sort of player that changes the landscape of Manchester City, and I don't think he changes the landscape of the league. I think he just takes them from here to there. I think if they brought in Kane, they would go from here to there, because like they need that sort of striker. But yeah, I'm saying Chelsea win the league, and I say City finish second. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that. Do you think I'm being biased? Because I think low-key I might be being biased, but I've been saying for a couple of years now, 21-22 season, that's when Chelsea win the league, and I'm going to back it. I say Tuchel's actually had like 6 weeks in preseason to look after this team. I say he's done bits this preseason, and I think he's going to take us all the way. And if he doesn't take us all the way in the Premier League, he will take us all the way in the Champions League. Like, this team has the potential to win the treble. And that's not even me being biased. Like, I genuinely believe we have so much quality, and we have a manager that can level up all our players. With Lampard, he was good with our players, but Tuchel, coaching-wise, can take our players from here to there. And we've got players with so much, like, that with their ceilings are up here, and they're literally just there. So, like, Tuchel can bridge that gap, and that's why I think Chelsea are going to win the league. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But without any further ado, let's get into the transfer of the season, flop of the season, breakthrough star of the season. But I think I might regret that. Low-key, I think I might regret that. Okay, I'm just going to rattle these off. So, transfer of the season, I said before, I think it's going to be Ben White. I think Lukaku's going to give him a run for his money, because if he smashes it, gets 20, 25 goals in the league, and they win the league, of course he's transfer of the season. But I think Ben White will level up Arsenal to a high enough level that he'll win transfer of the season. Breakthrough star of the season. I'm going to go for Adam Armstrong. He just signed for Southampton today, smashed it for Blackburn last season. I think Harvey Elliott could be one of these players who's breakthrough star as well. But I think Adam Armstrong's going to get consistent minutes at Southampton now Danny Ings is gone. And I think he's going to break through. Could even make England squads this year. I think he's going to have that much time on the pitch and that much time getting better with Ralph Hasenhüttl. So transfer of the season, Ben White. Breakthrough star, I'm going to go for Adam Armstrong. Player of the season, I'm going to go for Kevin De Bruyne. Safe option, but he's always unreal, isn't he? Like I thought Bruno Fernandes, I thought Mohamed Salah, I thought Werner, I thought Mount, but Kevin De Bruyne is just the best player in the league. So really and truly, like he should be winning player of the season every single season. He should have won it in 2019-20, but he's the best player in the league by a good margin. So I'm going to go for him as player of the season. But biggest flop of the season, I'm going to go for Brighton and Danny Ings. I think Brighton should, if they get a striker, they could finish as high as like 7th or 8th, but they haven't brought that in. And I think without investment, they're going to really, really struggle this season. Obviously, Graham Potter is a good enough manager for that not to happen, but I really doubt that they're going to do bits this season. So I'm going to say they flop this season. And Danny Ings, I don't think he's going to smash it at Aston Villa. I think that might be... It's quite hard to say that'll be a step up too high for him because Southampton and Aston Villa are kind of at the same level. But I don't know. I think with more pressure on him and with less... You know what? I retract the Danny Ings statement. I'm going to say my biggest flop is Brighton. That's all. But yeah, those are my predictions for the Premier League season 21-22. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. More videos coming out very soon. I've said that every single video. It's probably not coming out. But if you enjoy this one, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in a bit.